Our daughter, she started a tradition years ago of buying us a decoration made by a local sculptor who creates scenes of the Nativity out of clay. You know, when I look at our Christmas tree, it's as if I'm looking at every part of the Christmas story, plus the history of our family get-togethers, all at the same time. The other night I was just sitting and I was staring at our Christmas tree, and a question came to me. Have I taken the shape that you want me to take, Lord? You know, those words fell into my exhausted mind from where I sat. You see, I used to pray a prayer like that quite often. When I was younger, when the direction of my life wasn't quite so clear, when there were more years ahead of me than years behind me. I was in the habit of praying, God, you are the potter, I am the clay. Please shape me. This was when I yet had the path to choose, the university I'd study at, the career I'd pursue, the person I would marry. Oh, don't worry, I'm no Scrooge bemoaning a Christmas past of all that could have been. But that day, when I was looking at those clay ornaments in that tree, it triggered this memory of when I was unformed, ready to be made into something, yet to be tested, yet to be strengthened by fire. That prayer over the years has become more of a declaration. I will take the shape that my Father wants me to take, for he is the potter and I am the clay. I believe it still with all my heart. But you know, this lump of clay, it has been shaped. I live, I act, I walk in a certain way, and I have for years. That hopeful, powerful statement I declared when I was young. Well, it was before this strange time that we're living in, before our world ground to a halt because of the virus, before they just shut down everything and canceled everything in a way that's still impacting me and impacting so many people that I know. Like my daughter, who cried over the phone when she called to tell us that she won't be sending a clay ornament this year because the sculptor couldn't reopen after the quarantine. So I guess last year's little clay shepherd boy will be the final one. You know, that prayer of faith that I prayed all those years ago, is it canceled too? I prayed it before this cynical time when politics and conversation weren't so angry and so toxic. It seemed that when I prayed that old prayer, it was in a much simpler and a much hopeful time. So there I was the other night, just sitting from my chair, looking at the tree. The tree looked gorgeous. It was decked out, it was twinkling, but you know, it just didn't look the same. The feelings, the expectations that I normally have at Christmas were not there. Then I started looking around the rest of our living room, of all the things that are in it. Things gathered up over a lifetime, furniture and bookshelves, coffee mugs, plant holders, favorite souvenirs from our travels. All these practical and decorative things. I had to chuckle. God, you've shaped me. Now God, please use me. You know, sometimes at Christmas, I just like to think about the baby in the manger. Other Christmases, I'm busy doing large Christmas programs at church. But this year, I felt a bit more tired than usual. And I'm not at all certain if we should have even put that Christmas tree up. You know, I've only put up half my Christmas decorations this year. But you know, whether I'm out walking and praising God, watching those amazing sunrises and sunsets that we've been having this year, or whether I'm silently praising God in my heart, I know that the God that we serve is the same God who shapes me and the same God who uses me. And he holds me in his hand. Oh, I don't know if we'll have a big dinner this year with turkey, or if this Christmas is going to be one of sitting on the couch eating pizza. But I do know that my God is the God who can fill this empty vessel with grace. A grace that isn't based on the feelings of circumstance, but on the very nature of who he is. A gracious God who gave his only Son to the world to save it from despair. And so this year, I have added a candle to my Advent candles. And this year, I choose to light a candle of grace, to declare that God has filled this world and filled my life with grace. So this Christmas, dear Lord, we ask you to shape us into the shape that you want us to take. Use us in a way that you want to use us, and fill us, God, with your grace.